I didn't even think about a thumbnail. Whatever. I don't know what I'll do. I'll take a selfie or something maybe. Hi guys, thanks for clicking on my video. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm in a different setting right now. I'm actually sitting at my boyfriend's computer. He's letting me borrow it so I can film this video because I'm really excited about this one. Today, I'm gonna show you how I organize my reading, or more so, the 2 ways that I organize my reading, because I do have my own like bullet journal dedicated to reading, but I don't feel like showing that just yet. So the first way I'm going to show you is my Goodreads account. I'm pretty sure everyone who reads knows what a Goodreads is, that it's like the most standard website to use. I don't think it's the best website there is out there. I know that the Storygraph and Book Sloth are coming out, and those might start dominating more. The only real reason that I continue to use Goodreads is because I like to be able to follow other people and see what they're reading, their shelves and everything. It's a really nice way to find other books to read, new books to read. You can see how many books specific people have read in a year and stuff like that. The website itself is not the best. It's slow, the search function's not that great, but I love to be able to update the progress of what I'm reading and like how far into a book I am. That's just a real serotonin booster for me for some reason. Every time I get to like note progress, it's just lovely. So I don't have a lot of bookshelves on Goodreads. I really only have my want to read, currently reading, all the books I've read, and then I do break it down by year, 2019, 2020, and then I just do star ratings. I used to do shelves like, you know, literary fiction, horror, etc. It got too complicated and too weird for me, and I didn't feel like doing that anymore. But this way I can just click and know exactly what my 1-star books are, which is New Moon, Cujo, Lock Every Door, and Lies She Told. Or if I want to, I can just go to my 5 stars real quick, which is great too, because anyone who's looking at my Goodreads account can see kind of what taste I have in books. That's why I like Goodreads. But my pride and joy when it comes to like my reading and how I keep track of it is this spreadsheet. I know other people have their own spreadsheets too, and I know a lot of people have switched to using Notion, which is a website that you can like customize. I might try and transfer my reading over to that, but this works so well for me and so perfectly. So what we're looking at here, I designed this myself. I didn't actually use a template or anything like that. I've just been using spreadsheets since my early 20s to kind of do everything. You can even see up on my bookmarks tab, I have my spreadsheet, my books released, or the upcoming book release spread, and then my YouTube schedule. So I made this myself. It's very easy. Excel spreadsheets are kind of weird and complicated, but Google spreadsheets are very intuitive and very easy, and you can pretty much just Google everything you want to know about it. So I have the real basics on this first sheet, which is just title, author, published, pages, format, genre, audience, if I purchased the book, what month I read it in, and then my rating system. And then I also break it down by these borders, which is like January, February, March, April, etc. Just so when I'm scrolling like this, I can see here's the start of August. But if I'm scrolling and I can't really see those borders, I can still see that this was read in that month. So I'm under July and I can still see that I read it in July. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's the month that we're currently in, so it's September. And I always put the books that I'm currently reading here. And then as soon as I finish them, I just add their rating, what month I read them in, and then the number. So I'm on my I just finished my 92nd book of the year. And I like this because I like that I'm very easily able to see exactly exactly how many books I've read in the year so far. I like the colors, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of the main reason why I do this. I'm a very visual person. So if I can scroll through and see the colors, like I can see that I'm already having like a fantastic month in September so far because there's no red. I had a great July because there's only 1 red. And then I have a couple sheets down here as well. This is just my legend. I keep this with every spreadsheet just because I want to have the stars here and then how I feel about books, I guess you could say. And then this one I just recently implemented. Like I said, I'm a very visual person, so I love being able to look at covers, but I couldn't find a way to put these covers in this without making it really like bloated and kind of weird looking. So I just added this cover spread, and it's just all of the books that I read, their rating and their covers, honestly. It's just really pretty to me. And this is also really, really, really easy to do. I'll just show you how to do it. So say I wanted to put Crave in there, I would just copy the image address from its Goodreads account, double click these two, combine the cell, insert image, image in cell by URL, paste, insert image. And there you go. Like, it's so easy. And that's why I like Google spreadsheets, because they're not hard. When I was trying to figure out Notion, I was just like, what the hell am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. But I've just been using this for so long now that it's just second nature to me. And then the next one that I have is my physical TBR. I like to keep track of how many books I have unread on my shelves, because I don't ever want to get too many books. Like, I don't want to build up a crazy amount of books unread. I don't want to be one of those people that has like 700 books that I haven't read yet. So I literally have a little thing that says, okay, you can buy books again, and okay, stop buying books now. And basically I allow myself to start buying books again once I've read enough, and I'm under like 14 books that I haven't read. And this is my library tracker, but COVID happened, so I didn't get to really take any books out from the library this year, so this is kind of pointless at this point. But last year it helped a lot to be able to just keep track of like when the books are due back, and then if I've returned them, and if I even read them. The next sheet that I have is just at a glance. So this is all of the months and the books that I read in those months. I know it sounds really excessive, like I have so many different ways of saying the exact same thing, but it helps me for some reason to just be able to look at stuff like this. I just like the way it looks. And like I said, this is honestly just a self-indulgent kind of thing. I'm not using this data collection for anything in particular besides the fact that I just like to look at it. So I have all of the months, and then I have a list of the books that I've read that month. As you can see, June and July were my best in terms of how many books I read. And I just note at the very top how many books I read that month. So in January, I read 8, February, I only read 2, April, I only read 2, and then Red Rising saved my life and made me start wanting to read again. So I have 15 books in May, and then 18 in June and July. And the next spread that I have is my monthly stats, and this is what I use essentially just for wrap-ups and stuff like that. I write down everything that's important to me here for data collection purposes. So in August, the total books that I read were 14, 8 of which were physical, 6 of which were audio, no ebooks, and then I have the star ratings and how many, as well as the average rating, pages read, and then the audiences, so adult, young adult, and middle grade. And this is one of my favorite spreads just to look at, because I love being able to see the differences in months and like what happened in these months that made me only read like 2 books, 5 books, and 2 books. I don't know what was happening to me. I'm not going to show you this 2020 summary just because that happens to be like video ideas kind of in a way. It's chronicling like my favorite books of the year so far and my least favorite books of the year so far, and that's a video idea I have anyway. But the 2020 summary is basically just something that looks like this, and then I put all of the, like I'll have a little thing that says books I didn't like, all the books I didn't like, books that I loved, all the books that I loved, DNFs for the year, all the DNFs that I did. And this one I worked really hard on. This is my series progress tracker kind of thing. This is all of the series that I have started and I have not finished, or series that I just haven't given proper ratings to. For example, I have finished the Harry Potter series. I just don't have ratings for them just yet. I was in the middle of rereading the entire series, and then J.K. Rowling came out with her stupid bullshit again. So who knows when that's getting done. Or the Twilight Saga. I have read all of the Twilight Saga. I just haven't given ratings to these two because it's been a while since I read them, but I read New Moon and remembered that I hate the rest of the series, so I didn't continue reading them. Anyway, and then this is where I keep my completed series because I like to. There's no purpose in this spreadsheet other than the fact that I like to collect this information for myself, no one else. I just like looking at it. If you were wondering, this is my book release spreadsheet too. So this is all of the books. I started collecting this information in July, but these are all the books that are releasing later in the year that I have an idea of being interested in. Anything that's colored like this is something that I pre-ordered, and I've already started the 2021 as well, just because I'm excited. And this is my 2019 book spreadsheet. This is when I started to really buckle down and start tracking my information more, because that's when I started reading a little bit more seriously. I mean, I've read my entire life, but 2019 is when I like really picked it back up. It's not that much different from my 2020, except that I no longer track information like how long it takes me to read a book, because I realized that that's not helpful to me. In fact, I just feel like lame if it took a really long time for me to read a book. It just makes me feel not good. So I just cut that out. which is something that I definitely suggest people do. If something you're doing you don't enjoy anymore, or it just makes you feel bad, or you just don't like seeing that information, just cut it out. Like, why even have it? I have this literally just for myself, so why was I tracking something that just made me not happy? Here's the summary from 2019 that just has like all of the breakdowns of all my information. I was tracking to see my book of the month books that I was reading as well, but then I lost interest in having a book of the month subscription, so there's that. And I love seeing information like this too, because just at a glance I can tell the books that I read the most are books that are between 400 to 500 pages. I read the most, it looks like, in the later half of the year, maybe because it's colder, I don't know. Most of the time I read books 4 stars. I read fantasy more than anything else. And then this is how I used to do my series trackers, and I just don't like the way that this looks. It's way too complicated, or not complicated, it's just ugly. I don't like it. So I'm much happier with the way this looks. So that's it. Just a really quick video showing you guys how I do my spreadsheet, because I really like the way that it looks. It's my favorite part of reading. I just really like to have something to do. Like, once I finish a book, I get enough serotonin boosts from finishing that book, but there's something so nice about being able to go into this and plug all of the information in. Like, if I finished Air of Fire, let's say I gave Air of Fire 3 stars, which is not that off, honestly. I would just... There we go. And then I would copy it and bring it over to all of this stuff. I would be able to take it off my physical TBR. I would put it in my month at a glance, and then I would go to my series tracker. I don't know where there it is. Oops. For some reason, stuff like that just really freaking gets my goat, guys. I just really love having extra steps. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it a little bit interesting, or you liked seeing it at all. If you track your reading in a similar way, let me know. Maybe you have a video about it. I would love to see it. That's about it for today, guys. Thanks. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff.